Rebecca Gahan, owner of Kick at 55 Fitness. Welcome to 30-minute prenatal HIIT bootcamp, where moms can safely work out at a high intensity level. Today, you'll need a barbell for lower body, dumbbells that you can interchange for both upper and lower body, plus a stepper so that you can go on an incline. Remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on push notifications so you know when our next workout is posting. And I know you're gonna love this workout, so give us a thumbs up and send us feedback below. Let's get started. All right, we've got skaters. Hi, moms to be out there. I am a mom of 3 kids, ages 18, 14, and 12. And with each of my 3 pregnancies, I gained between 50 to 70 pounds. Whew, I know. And the weight did not come off right away. It took me 9 months of workouts like this to get my body back. But I did, which is how I started on my journey with fitness. 15 seconds. Whew. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Jumping jacks. So, moms to be out there, let's talk about when you first find out you're pregnant. What is it that you can and cannot do? So, you've just missed your period. You take a pregnancy test, it's barely positive. You can't even get in to see the doctor yet because they won't see you. Whew. So, you're freaking out. Can I still do my workout? Most of the time, again, unless you're on some sort of restriction. By the way, we're gonna get down right now into an incline position for mountain climbers. Whew. You can proceed, just as you were before, doing the same workouts that you were completing prior to becoming pregnant. That is usually the rule of thumb. Again, I always tell you to ask your doctor. Whew. But assuming your doctor gives you the go-ahead, or didn't tell you you were gonna have any restrictions prior to getting pregnant, you should be good to go. All right, let's start again with skaters. Whew. So, now you've gotten the positive pregnancy test confirmation from the box from Walgreens and also from your doctor. But you're not getting in for the 8-week ultrasound yet. So you don't want to do anything to hurt the baby. The reality is there's really nothing you can do to hurt the baby at this point, okay? The baby's growing. You can barely feel anything except you might start to feel some nausea, or you might feel nothing. Whew. Either way, your body is working so hard during these first 14 weeks because they're producing all of the organs. Whew. Baby is completing so many chemical functions at this point, which is why you feel so nauseated. All right, jumping jacks. So my first piece of advice is give yourself a break. In your first trimester, you might not feel up to working out as much. You're gonna be really lethargic. Sleep, get rest. If you feel like eating a bunch of carbs, do it. Because you will feel better when you get into your second trimester. I know that's not what you're thinking I would tell you, but it's true. Because if you give yourself a big guilt trip because you couldn't work out, or you started eating outside of how you normally eat, you're just gonna make yourself feel badly, and nobody needs this. This should be one of the happiest times of your life. Whew. Let's go down for incline mountain climbers. Bring those knees in to the chin. Whew. So, assuming you're under no restriction, you feel moderately okay throughout the day. Again, the reality is, whatever you were doing prior to getting pregnant, you can continue doing while pregnant. So if you were participating in kick workouts while trying to get pregnant, continue on. If you were doing something similar, continue. But if you were somebody who was only doing low impact workouts, or let's say just yoga, Pilates, now is not the time to start a HIIT workout. Whew. Let's go again. Skaters. Whew. So, perceived rate of exertion. I want you throughout this entire workout to be talking. So I want you to be able to have a conversation. You're breathy, but you're not out of breath. If you're like, I can't talk, that's not good. You need to get your heart rate down. You should not exceed a number 7 out of 10 on a perceived rate of exertion. But it's an old wives' tale that you cannot exceed 140 beats per minute with your heart rate. I know for me, my heart rate runs high. 140 beats per minute, that's my heart rate when I'm watching a movie. Just kidding. Whew. Again, it's more about how you feel, and everyone is different. There are women, believe it or not, who run marathons while they're pregnant. I'm not advising you do so. I'm just saying that women do this. Whew. We are going down for mountain climbers. Getting those knees to the chin. 15 seconds. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Get some water. So we're going to be taking more water breaks, more breaks during this time. Whew. Your body is working a lot harder because you are with child, even though that child is like a dot. So take that time, breathe. All right. We are going to get started with alternating reverse lunges with a hammer curl. So we're going to pick up our dumbbells. We're going to reverse lunge, hammer curl, reverse lunge, hammer curl. If that does not feel right to you, just reverse lunge, shoulders back, chest out, or just hammer curl. You also have an option to reverse lunge, hammer curl at the top. So all kinds of different modifications we can make. Let's talk weights. First trimester, do you need to reduce your weights just because you're pregnant? Whew. The answer is no, you don't. If you were lifting, let's say, 20-pound dumbbells prior to becoming pregnant for upper body and 50 to 60-pound barbells, well, initially, at first, you probably don't need to change at all. But then as you get bigger and the dynamics of your balance change, you're going to have to reduce within a ratio of where you started. So maybe if you were at 50, 60 pounds initially, you might be at 40, 50 for lower body and 15 to 17 for upper body. Okay, let's put the dumbbells down. We're going to put a barbell behind our head. If you don't have a barbell, we're going to hold dumbbells at our side. Feet are going to be a little bit beyond hip distance apart. We're going to take our hips, let them sink below our knees. This should feel really good, opening up the pelvis, helping us to prepare for labor. Squeeze. Squeeze your glutes. Do your kegels. Just kidding. Not so much. Woo. But just because you're pregnant does not mean you need to all of a sudden pick up 2 and 3 pound weights and a 10-pound barbell. It's all about what were you lifting with what were you doing prior to becoming pregnant. And then modifying accordingly from there. And the first trimester is less about even what's happening with your body, but more about just being tired and nauseated and not feeling like you want to do anything. And you have to listen to your body and give yourself a chance to rest. Because again, you will feel better in the second trimester, I promise. Woo! Okay, we're gonna take that barbell, bring it up and overhead. We're grabbing our dumbbells again. Woo! We have something called Reciprocal Rows. So we're gonna hinge at the hip, taking our right arm up, then our left, then our right. So back fat attacks us during pregnancy. I'm gonna do my best to build muscle for you in this area. Woo! And to help reduce the amount of back fat deposits. And then we'll remove the rest postpartum. Do not worry. Woo! But I definitely had my fair share of back fat and under butt fat. That was where it all went. It's gone now, no worries. 15 seconds, And then we go to front squats. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. So let's talk weights overhead momentarily. First, let's go to a front squat. Barbell is right at the clavicle, base of the neck, feet are a little bit beyond hip distance apart. We're gonna squat down and up. So just like the back squat, but now we're addressing the anterior lower body muscle group. Whew, I'm gonna back up just a little. Here we go. Here we go. Whew. Let your hips lower. Nice. 15 seconds. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to our second set, reverse lunges with a hammer curl. So can we lift weights up overhead? Yes and no. You might be able to squat and press up throughout the entire pregnancy and never feel a thing. But there might come a point, let's say 25 weeks, 30 weeks, where you feel a twinge in your back, in the base of your neck. Listen to your body, and that is when you stop lifting weights overhead. But again, depending on how you carry, that might never come to pass. You might be able to lift weights up over your head. The only danger in lifting weights up over your head throughout your entire pregnancy is the risk of injury to you. But I repeat, you are not going to hurt the baby just because you lift weights overhead. Whew. Women today can work out at a pretty high intensity level throughout their pregnancy safely, again, assuming that they're following somebody who's knowledgeable in these types of workouts. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, we're putting the dumbbells down. We're going to pick up our barbell now. We're going to back squats. Can you lie on your back with weights? Now this one, at a certain point, will happen. There's going to come a point where you're lying on the ground, flat, on your back, and you're going to feel like you can't breathe. That's because you've gotten to the point where you're so large that the baby's so large that they're pressing, or the placenta is pressing on your vena cava, which is thereby making it feel like you can't breathe. All that needs to happen is you need to roll over to your side. But if you're somebody who likes to do lying chest presses, it might be at 25 weeks, somewhere between 25 to 30 weeks, where you're gonna feel like, I need to be in an incline when I lie on my back. This is not working for me anymore. But do not worry, you're not just gonna all of a sudden one day stop breathing. Your body is giving you warning signals. All right, let's put this barbell down. We're gonna pick up our dumbbells now. Reciprocal rows. Whew. Row. So, we discussed, can you lift weights while you're pregnant? Yes. Can you work out at this intensity level? Yes. Can you lift weights up over your head? Yes. Whew. Can you lie on your back? Yes and no. It's all about listening to your body. Can you jump? Well, if you're somebody like me, when I'm pregnant, I carry very centric. So my belly gets really big because I'm short. And as a result, there is a lot of pressure on, in the pelvic region. So for me, jumping really was not a reality. If I were to jump on both feet, I was afraid the baby was just gonna fall out. But if you're taller, if you're carrying a little bit longer, you might be able to jump the entire pregnancy. Whew. If you jump, whether you do high knees or tuck jumps, by the way, we're doing front squats right now, and you feel pelvic pressure, stop, get some water, elevate your feet, contact your physician. Whew. Odds are everything's fine, but whenever you feel pelvic pressure, it's always a good idea to talk to your OBGYN. And then you know it's time to stop jumping. But I'll just reiterate, in my studio in Chicago, I had women doing hurdle jumps at 38 weeks. Whew, true. All right, 20 seconds, and then we go to our final set here. 15 seconds. 10 seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Final set. Reverse lunges with a hammer curl. Whew. So, are you putting yourself in danger by exercising while you're pregnant? You already know the answer to that. But no, you're putting yourself in danger if you don't exercise, and here's why. Your body is producing a hormone called relaxin right now, and that's to help prepare you to breastfeed. But it's also loosening up your muscles and joints, making you more prone to injury. The way to offset that is to build up your strength, work on building those muscles, keeping yourself strong in a controlled environment. This is your controlled environment. This is where you can focus. If you can strengthen yourself here, you can avoid injury out in the uncontrolled environment. So for example, you're at the grocery store, you're reaching for that cereal that's on a top shelf. The next thing you know, you twist your back and you're in physical therapy. But if you're doing the back exercises here with me, you might avoid that risk of injury. Or you're at your toddler's play group and you guys are crawling around and then your toddler runs out the door. You run after them, you twist your knee. You might avoid twisting your knee because you've been building up all of your anterior lower body muscles with me. See how that works? So you can't afford to not work out with me. That's the moral of the story. All right, let's go to reciprocal rows. Take that barbell up and overhead. Hinging at the hips. Row, row, row. 20 seconds. And then we'll end this circuit with front squats, and then we'll take a break. 10 seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Front squats. Elbows up. Feet are a little bit beyond hip distance apart. Let's go. Seconds. 15 seconds. Breathe. What's your perceived rate of exertion? 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, get some water, towel off, do what you need to do, and we're going to talk about your core exercises. So if you take your belly button, your pelvic bone, draw a line, meet in the middle. This is the core muscle I want you to contract, release, contract, release. Feel it right here. This is the most important core exercise you can do to prepare for labor, and just make your core strong. So whenever we're doing back squats, front squats, I want you to contract and release this muscle. We don't do core-specific exercises right now in this prenatal HIIT routine because there are a multitude of those out there in the marketplace, but there are not a lot of high-intensity prenatal HIIT boot camps. So I want to use our time wisely. And with that being said, we're going to bent knee deadlifts. So we're going to take that barbell, we're going to let it drop below our knees. Our hips are pulling back as our knees bend. Our shoulders and hips are going to stop at the same level. Here we go. So we let it drop. Pull it back. Postpartum, there is a condition known as a diastasis, and that's when the rectus abdominal area has a separation that's more than 2 centimeters in diameter. How to avoid having a separation. It looks like a valley in the middle of your stomach. If you feel a pulling in the center of your abdomen when you go into a plank, a burpee, a push-up, then that means it is time to go into an incline. That's why I have the steppers here. And with that being said, we're going to put the barbell down. We're going to push-ups on an incline. Because if you go straight down and you feel that pulling, you'll be more prone to that separation of the abdomen postpartum. And if you need to be on your knees, that's fine. Whew. Or more of an incline. Whew. But this is a great way to work your upper body and your core and prepare for labor and delivery. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! We're going to sumo squats. I love sumo squats. This helps open up your pelvis, your hips. If you don't want to put this in a front squat position, that's fine. If you'd rather let it drop down, your feet are out at 9 and 3 o'clock. 12 o'clock is the front, 9 and 3 o'clock on the side. Woo! Letting those hips pull back. Woo! Descend. There you go. So we're working our inner and outer thighs, opening up the pelvis, getting ready for an easy labor and delivery. I will tell you, 99% of my clients who work out with me throughout their pregnancy by doing these workouts, even with the first child, are only pushing, active pushing, for an hour or less. Whew, I didn't have these workouts when I was pregnant, and I had to push for 2.5 hours with my first. Whew. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. It's time for a little cardio. We're going to squat jacks with a touchdown. If that touchdown is bothering you, just squat jack, and if the jumping's bothering you, out, out, in. Let's go, 30 seconds. Seconds. So how much weight is normal to gain while you're pregnant? And how long will it take to lose the weight? And when can I work out postpartum? Whew. So everybody starts at a different point. I have moms who start, take a second, we're gonna start up again with bent knee deadlifts, who are really restrictive with their diet, work out 6 to 7 times a week. So when they get pregnant, the first trimester is a little bit of a shock because you're working out a lot less, you're eating outside of your normal comfort zone, bent knee deadlifts, and you might put on 10 pounds, totally normal. A lot of my moms put on more weight in the beginning, again, because they're following a pretty restrictive diet going into the pregnancy. It's okay, give yourself a break. Whew. And I promise the weight gain will slow down in the second trimester. You'll feel better and you'll be able to work out more in the second trimester. Whew. Letting those hips pull back. But I never like to tell people what is a normal amount of weight to gain. Now, of course, your physician will let you know if you're gaining too much or you're at risk for gestational diabetes. But I don't want to weight shame you while you're pregnant. I did have that happen when I was pregnant, and I didn't love being pregnant as a result. People used to stop me on the street and ask me if I was having twins or triplets. Single birth, every time. 4, it's one of the reasons I do this. 2, 1. I also do this because I was pregnant at the same time as Heidi Klum. 2 of her, 3 or 4 times, push-ups. And she would be back, true story, in the Victoria's Secret TV show where they would walk on stage and everybody would say, look at Heidi Klum, she's 6 weeks postpartum and she's in a bikini or she's in this lingerie. And I was sitting on the couch, still with a pooch, looking like I was still 4 months pregnant. And I felt horrible about myself. And then I realized that's not the real world. And Heidi Klum is not a real person. All right, sumo squats. It takes 9 months to gain that weight and 9 months to lose it safely. And I will stick with that. Do not set yourself up for unrealistic expectations. But here's what you should set yourself up for, okay? Sumo squats, woo! Childcare so that you can work out postpartum. I advocate 6 weeks to get the clearance from your doctor to work out. I know some doctors will say you can do it in 4, and if they do, go for it. But I'm not gonna be the one to tell you to do so. So it's 6 weeks postpartum. You don't have a clue how you're gonna start fitting in workouts. You're barely sleeping, and you're going back to work soon. Pre-plan. So you're finding childcare to go to work, find childcare, work with your significant other to determine how you can exercise 4 days per week. And when I say 4, it's because only 3 will happen initially. But you need to carve that time out. If you just say, oh, I'm working out today, but you don't pick a specific time and find childcare, it won't happen. All right, put that barbell down. We're going to squat jacks with a touchdown. Let's go. It is very important that you find those 3 to 4 hours per week for you. I know it's 3 or 4 hours that you're not spending with your child, you're not cleaning up your house, but trust me, those 3 to 4 hours are imperative so that you can feel better, reduce your risk of postpartum depression, and lose the weight. And trust me, when your baby's young, they won't know you're gone. I'm just saying. 10 seconds. But just like you meal prep, just like you plan for the childcare for work, just like you plan a doctor's appointment, give that same attention to your workouts. All right, we're gonna start our last set of this circuit, bent knee deadlifts. Whew. We're gonna pull our hips back, knees bend, come up. Hips back, knees bend, pull up. Whew. So overall, my message for you is give yourself a break on working out in the first trimester if you're not feeling it. If you were doing a workout like this before getting pregnant, then you can definitely do this type of workout throughout your pregnancy, but you have to listen to your body and modify accordingly. You do not need to start lifting low weights just because you're pregnant. And it's okay to gain weight. All that matters is healthy baby. You will lose the weight postpartum. Whew. I know some of this is non-traditional advice, but I've been doing this for over a decade now. Prenatal is my specialty. It's why I got into training, and I firmly believe everything I say. I've lived it, I've taught it, and I have a lot of babies to prove it. Not my own, others. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, we're going down for push-ups. Whew. Incline. Remember, tighten that core in that area we discussed. 15 seconds. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Sumo squats. Picking up that barbell, elbows up, feet are out at 9 and 3 o'clock. Squat down. You've got it. Woo! Pulling those hips back. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Last exercise of today's workout, squat jacks with a touchdown. This is where we count down. Whew. Then we'll wipe off that sweat, get a sip of water, and stretch. In 10 seconds, you're gonna count down with me. In 5 seconds. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Wipe off your sweat, get some water, and we will stretch. Okay, so we're gonna turn our feet out, let our elbows rest inside of our knees, and we're gonna slide or just shift our hips back and forth. That should feel really good. Loosen everything up. Whew. Let it sink a little, hold it here. Slowly come up. Whew. If you can use your stepper and you feel like you're well balanced or you're holding on to something, slowly lean forward, getting a nice hamstring stretch. Now bring your foot down. Put your toe up against that stepper. Push into it. We're gonna get a calf stretch. Whew. Here's why. Ever get one of those Charlie horses in the middle of the night? If you haven't, you will. You need to stretch out your calves. Drink lots of water before you go to bed. Eat bananas and sweet potatoes so you get your potassium in, and you'll avoid those Charlie horses. And some of you right now are going, oh yeah, I've had those. All right. Lifting up my other leg and bringing my toe, pushing in. Now this is an abbreviated stretch. You should continue to stretch post-workout. Whew. Just want to get you started. Take your right arm over to the left side. Ooh, nice lat stretch. Switch. Ooh, get your arms behind your back. Lean over if you can. Oh, that feels good. Neck over to the right side. The left. Crack. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Thank you for joining our 30-minute prenatal HIIT. We loved having you here. Remember, I know you love this workout, so give us a thumbs up and send us all kinds of feedback below. Remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on push notifications so you know when our next workout posts. And follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We will see you soon. Remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on push notifications so you know when our next workout posts.